Last term, Louis Bolzomi at the microphone.
Thank you very much, Damien Watson, and thank you as well, Barry Cotts, with all the updates from around the grounds in all four divisions of the Eastern Football League. Last quarter of the top of the table clash here at HE Park Reserve in Division 3, and it's Park Orchards who are on top in more ways than one, not just the ladder, but also in this contest. 30 points to the good. Can they put the final nail in the Heathmont coffin? The kick from Wiggins was smothered and was brilliantly smothered too, but they've recovered the footy momentarily, the Sharks. However, the handball was astray. Naina, the ruckman for Heathmont, gathered it. Now they're in possession through Alistair Knudsen. The little side step was very unique and very effective too to get around Smead, and his short pass is okay too. Towards Savory, who goes off to Sheriff. The ball goes forward. Hendricks, oh, the bounce. So cruel for him. It was not his fault at all that it landed on its point. And, well, the footy guys really smiling on Park Orchards at the moment. Well, that kick going forward for them was ill-directed. Mark taken by English. Looks to have recovered from that leg niggle he suffered late in the third term. Short pass is okay to Pettigrew, who also has recovered from a heavy knock in the second quarter. He went off towards Finn Brown. He's kicking board short and dangerous. Pettigrew having to come in hard once again to rescue things for Heathmont, and he forces a ball up as we go down boundary side to Desmond Afonso.
It's pretty, boys. Just a quick word.
Again. Just a quick is working well.
Just a quick word from
Great
the
Sri Lankan accent there, Brett.
Just a quick word from the Heathmont huddle. Joel Calder wants his boys to have a crack. He wants more handball receives, and he signalled out Jake Sheriff. He wants him to win the clearances. David Knowles and Thomas Hawke.
Kevin Clark, I've got to call this one. I reckon this has gone through. Sorry to cut you off there, but the little master just came in at the nick of time to put through his second goal, his second contender for the Vibromania goal of the day, Kevin Clark. And Heathmont just what the doctor ordered. Lucky they're kicking straight. Bendigo Bank scoreboard 42-66. It's back to a 4-goal margin. Let's go back down to you, Brett. Sorry to cut you off, mate.
No worries, but absolutely. Well, it was very timely because one of the messages from Joel Calder at three-quarter time was for Kevin Clark to get in the game, and Rod Kewi's done that as well. He's looking for Thomas Hawke to get a bit more creative, and David Knowles, he's throwing him forward.
The way I'm going with my names today, BWS, I'll have to go back on the EFL media bench, but no, I'll keep on going for you, mate. I'll keep on going as Heathmont, well, their pulse is still beating well. Only 24 points down. Their accurate kicking doing the job for them.
English.
As the kick comes out, and English reads this well and takes the mark. Wants to play on, but it's just held up and corralled nicely by the Park Orchards half forwards. So he elects to go the safe option wide to the members' side. Young takes it, goes forward. Brown takes it at right half forward. Too far out to score, so he'll look for a centering ball now. Will he go long? No, he goes sort of short, but it's to an outnumbered contest. Park Orchards defence getting back in number nicely, and it's Campbell Crome who ensures the ball is dead over the line for a throw in. Just outside the 54, Heathmont, who have started the final quarter off the way they would have hoped for with the opening goal to the goal sneak specialist in Kevin Clark. As we get a restart from the ruck, Chappell down, just missed there by Fair for Park Orchards. In comes Sheriff for the Jets, and he's wrapped up and will get it all done again courtesy of the field umpire. No, it's gone over the boundary, has it? No, it stayed in. So ball up again, worked down by Chappell, but ineffective hit out there, not to his advantage. Knowles takes it, he's wrapped up and will do it all again at right half forward for Heathmont. So a tap there, this time won by Savory. Not achieving anything at all there as Jack Cornwall appealing to the umpire for a jumper hold, nothing doing. So we'll this time have another stoppage courtesy of a throw-in.
We did say off air, Brett, that Kevin Clark had to lift in this final term, and he did it there on that occasion. Comes in now, knocked down, straight out of the arms there of Chappell, into the arms of Sheriff, came out here. Brown got the handball out wide, that was okay. He's Cornwell on the right boot, skewive kick, terrible kick, and over the boundary line and on the full it goes. Back pocket now for the Sharks.
That's been the disappointing thing from Heathmont. Their disposal into their forward line's been very average today.
Robbie Savory takes it across half-back, almost got spoiled by his own teammate there, gives it to English. He might be able to ping this. No. Sold 2 bits of candy. Ned snaps around the body, kicks it to the top of the goal square, but nobody was home. He backed himself in, then he did it, and then he backed himself in again. But the mark has been taken there by Whitnish in the back pocket now for Park Orchard. So chance for them to relieve a little bit of pressure here. Kick goes out wide. There's a big pack forming. Savory was over the back, as too was Davis, who went after it. He's not going to get pinged for that. You can hear the Sharks fans screaming for holding the ball, and I didn't want a bar of that.
English was well corralled there. He was forced onto his left-footed snap around the body instead of going with conviction through the drop punt.
Chappell got the knockdown, but it looks as though the Jets have the numbers. Davis got it away. Here's Naina on the right boot. That was smothered as well. Still inside the centre square, charging through there. David Sindri couldn't get boot to ball over the top of it. Jay Whitnish eventually scoots out. Good umpiring to let it go, but players eventually hit the deck, and we will have a ball up. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. 98.1 Radio Eastern, streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. It's a four-goal lead, I should say, to Park Orchards as the kick goes off the ground, then does a nice little wrong and inside just to keep the ball alive, but eventually Paint beats everybody, as it often does, and over she goes for a boundary throw in. 6 minutes gone into the final term. It's moved up to the wing position here, grandstand side. We've seen very little football today. Comes in now, nicely done there by Chappell. What a game he's had. He's been fantastic today, the man bun. As it comes out, Sindri picked the football up, banged it on his boot. He had no one really to go to, but he goes deep and he goes long. He was looking for Spurrell, who was there, and knocked over the boundary line and out of bounds. Right forward pocket now for the Heathmont Football Club. It's promising for them, but 6.5 minutes have ticked over on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They're trailing by 4 straight kicks, 42-66. 21 scoring shots to 7. Park Orchard should have put the game away already. Do Heathmont have some answers, or will Wiggins have something to say about that? Good tackle there by Savory on Wiggins, and the umpire said to give it back to me. Lots of stoppages. So we'll have a bounce again. Only 30 metres out from goal for Heathmont.
I think this next 5 minutes tells the story of the game. I think if they kick 1 or 2, they're right back in at Heathmont.
Throws it up, nicely done there by Bayliss. Hasn't he been some sort of a influence on the ground today, the playing coach in the long sleeves? Throws it up, Chappell got it away, quick kick away for Park Orchards out of that danger zone, and certainly a good result. Lux of Fortune in the arms of Prosenac on the right boot now. Head sends the ball out wide. They do have the numbers in the arms now. Wiggins, he's had a great game out towards the wing position, bouncing football. Nicholson, who's kicked 2 goals today, he's moved out from the forward arc, and then he goes back for a little bit of safety in Park Orchards. Just have a little bit of time, Louis, just to stem the flow and make their own approach.
That they do, BWS, and it's like it's Wiggins again, who will go long in the direction of Hanley. Uses a step-in ladder on that occasion. Naina went up high, didn't complete the mark. On hands and knees now for the Jets is Lachlan Sverns. Doesn't get a handball cleared away. Hunt getting involved there for the Sharks, keeping it alive around their attacking 50. For Park Orchards, and we'll get a ball up. 24 points the margin in favour of the Sharks on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 9-12, 66 to 7 straight 42. And within just a handful of seconds after a ball up, we get yet another one. Thomas Fair not going anywhere after that tackle. So we'll start again. Naina at the back of Chappell that time. Got the tap to Young. Young tackled, but the tackle didn't stick though from Wiggins, so Young able to get the ball away. Only as far though as Jared Bayliss, but he doesn't beat the boundary line, so another stoppage will be added to the statistics. Grant Subi Campbell has got his astute eye on all day, thanks to Ju's tap. We'll go once again from the stoppage. Hendricks involved there, can't get it fair. Didn't have the footy. Did the umpire pick that up? No, he did not.
Apparently it was fair.
Well done. Yeah, very, very good. I'll give you that one, VWS. Very nice.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about the decision either from the umpire. There certainly was no footy inside. It was almost on the other side of the fence, and Fair was tackled. But anyway, we continue on. We get yet another stoppage between the centre wing and right half forward for Park Orchards. Around the back, Naina once more. Can Wiggins get a clearing possession? No, he's tackled as well. I'll get it back once again. So, chance for all the players to collect their breaths for a fleeting moment. Still 24 points the margin in favour of the Sharks. We'll get another stoppage, I think, again. We will.
I don't know who this is playing into the hands of, whether it's good for Park Orchards or it's good for Heathmont, but at the moment, nothing's happened for the last probably 4 minutes of the game.
No, would it help the Sharks, surely, because it stems the momentum of the Jets.
Yeah, real stalemate at this present time as Hendricks tries to create some space for Cornwall with a little deft tap, but that doesn't work either, so we're still glued over on the cricket net and scoreboard side of H.E. Parker Reserve, BWS.
Ball comes back in now, trying to barge his way through. Was Tom Fair, and to no avail. Another stoppage. So, ball it up, and let's hope we get a clearance out of this. Nicely done there by Chappell. He took it and then tried to spin it before he had it, and then he had to bring it to ground. And, you know, just for something different, we'll have another ball up.
Just around the ground score, guys. Baronia 7-11-53 leading East Burwood. They're only trailing by 16 points, 4-13-37. They're a bit inaccurate, the Rams.
I wonder how many Cubitos kicked this afternoon there, Damo. As,
how many behinds, perhaps?
as the ball comes across the half-back line now. Heathmont in the middle of the ground. Savory gets a handball away, linked up well there with Young in the middle of the ground. On the right boot now, English up towards the half-forward line. Came out towards Clark, who tried to play for the free kick. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. Scotty Rowland was on the hammer. Not too sure if I'm going to accept that that was there, but it was certainly a professional free kick and well played there by Kevin Clark.
And again, while he's done a great job, and I keep getting back on this with Bayliss, his disposal down that area, he had an opportunity to really hit a target, and he missed the target again. He's got the ball so well today, I just don't think he's used it as well as what he could have.
Almost if you want the ball in the arms of a player, you want it in the arms of Kevin Clark, and he just split the eye of the needle there, straight through the middle it went, and third goal on the board now for Kevin Clark, and Heathmont narrow the margin, Damo.
We got
All of a sudden it's back to 3 straight kicks. 12 minutes gone in the final term out here at H.E. Parker.
Well, once again, the value of getting in first for the ball and putting your head over it. That was the occasion there where Clark perhaps played for the free kick, but it was successful, and all of a sudden he's become an influence after having a relatively quiet first 3 quarters.
Without a doubt, and they ran the ball well down through the middle. They handballed and continue to run, and Park Orchard's got to be careful here that they don't stop and try and protect the win.
Too early.
They've got to continue to play that hard-running football that they have been playing.
Loving the choose tap stats coming from Leroy Green on the camera this afternoon as Louis Bolzomi takes us away. The Jets are coming.
And as this game really starts to heat up, the umpires are getting well and truly involved. Their stoppage stats and throw-ups are working brilliantly. They lead all comers in that statistic. And they get another one added to the tally right there. As Abruzzi gets the handball right through some heavy traffic. Sheriff, though, he's beset upon by Bayliss. No infringement, though, as far as a free kick is concerned for the umpire, because he wants another stat himself. Gets the ball up. But I'll tell you what, though, 13 minutes gone this final term. That pulse for the Jets is beating feverishly. They are still in this contest. They've got the only 2 goals this last term, courtesy of Clark. But will the balloon be airless with this ball? Over square at the back. Hanley takes it. And once again, the Heathmont defence pushing up.
He doesn't look confident.
Covering back.
He could kick it to us the way he did it last time.
Looks like he's kicking to half back at the moment. He hasn't even looked at the goals.
He wants any other option other than to kick for goal, but he may have no other choice as the umpire now puts him back over his mark. He's just pointing to make sure that his opponent is in the right spot, being Lachlan Sverns. Probably shouldn't worry about where he's standing. He should be worried about how this is going to go through the sticks, if anything. Hanley has 1 to his name. Can he make it 2? He can! He can!
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, well done. Every other choice he had in the book, apart from kicking for goal, it was the last thing on his mind, given his body language. But why don't you just back yourself in? He has slotted it through nicely. Degree of difficulty there, right up as well, almost at the 10 out of 10 mark too. And Park Orchards get some breathing space again. 10-12-72 to Heathmont, 8 straight 48 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 14 and a quarter gone.
And the thing about that was, it wasn't even like on that angle you'd expect him to try and kick a boomerang or whatever. He kicked a dead set drop punch straight through the goal. So magnificent goal.
But he wasn't in 2 minds like last time, was he?
No, he didn't throw the ball around 3 times before he actually dropped it on his feet.
I reckon he was in about 4 before he actually went back and had a shot for goal. But it's always the way, isn't it? When you look this way, that way, and then you go back and back yourself, and what do you know? It goes up towards the half-forward line again. Good spoil that time by Sverns, overrunning it. though in the end the kick goes forward looking for Nicholson for Park Orchards right near the boundary line. It did a little bit of a wrong and Walton was in there. He couldn't quite trap the football. Umpire's going to come and ball this one. It's like an awkward game of Twister out there where everyone falls on one another. And we'll have a boundary throwing right in front of the Priceline Pharmacy Heathmont sign. I'll give that a plug because I start there in August 28th. So not at the Heathmont one, but at head office at Park Orchard. Well, they're just answering all challenges at the moment, and this is game over. And Prozanak puts his second in. Nice banana kick goal for him, 20 metres out from goal. And if there was a challenge happening, they took too long to get there. Heathmont in this final term, they kicked the first two. Now Park Orchards have got the answer with the next two. And it just seems like it's going to be too hard to come back from this 5-goal margin.
Yeah, I think this is a mountain too high to climb at the moment for Heathmont, and that's two magnificent goals in 3 minutes from Park Orchards. And again, their run, just when their run, that's got them out of the midfield as well.
They make it, and their goals are coming easier. Heathmont are working way too hard for their scores. And as we know, they have kicked straight. They haven't kicked a behind for the day as well. So they have had to work incredibly hard to get on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard today. Naina got the knockdown. Can they work out something? Hands and knees nicely done there by Fair. Got the handball away. Quick kick into the middle of the ground. Beautiful use of the body there by Smead. He's had a good game and he takes a strong mark as well. It was a good use of the body here.
He's a good young kid.
And he got 25-metre penalty to boot as well. So,
yeah, against the Brucey there, tackling him, even though it looked like he had gone off his mark. Umpire hadn't called play on.
Yeah, it's not too sure what really happened there.
Yeah.
Giggles wasn't impressed because he said he was off, but unable to see whether or not someone ran over the mark or what happened. It could have even been back chat. We won't know, but Evan Smead almost deserves a goal here. He's put himself well within range. He'll kick from about 43 metres out, leans over the ball, and he makes no mistake. The goal umpire did not move. That was gun barrel straight. Fantastic goal there by Evan Smead. That's his first of the afternoon, and Park Orchards, they're running away with this victory today. They are going to be top of the table in Division 3. There's no doubt about that. A game clear and percentage in only about 13 minutes time, Damien Watson.
Yes, indeed. Just some interesting around the ground scores coming through now. Turner South only 21 points behind the undefeated Knox in Division 2 at three-quarter time, and also Noble Park only 4-point leaders over South Croydon. So some tight results.
Unfortunate drawing in of Abruzzi to lay the tackle when he saw Smead possibly step off his line was, I think, the reason why the 25 was paid. And it looks like Park Orchards now might be able to put some extra icing on what will be a very delicious and victorious cake. Mark taken by Nick Hanley, who's a sizzling right forward pocket goal a few moments ago. Just killed off any last bit of momentum that Heathmont may have had with the opening 2 goals of this final term, courtesy of Kevin Clark, where he had so many options and chose the right one in the end, and that was just to go bang. This one a lot more textbook for him though. Angle not too acute, distance no problem. And another one onto the board there, Hanley. Nope. Behind only.
Early crow there.
Soupy, can you
Why not?
The beautiful lead up. I enjoyed every second of it, Louis.
Soupy, do you
Stay
have
to the portfolio.
the marks inside 50 for both sides just for a moment?
Park Orchards lead that 11-2. The centre clearances for the day 17-7, so they're probably the 2 big stats today.
Demo reel gets a bit of a lift for me, but unfortunately we have to just edit that last result out of it as we get the ball back into play. Here's it right half back for the Jets. Ball in possession of Michael Philp, brought down by Finn Brown, so we'll get a ball up right in front of the 300 club and the faithful here at the Heathmont club rooms at H.E. Parker Reserve. Coming over the top there was Naina. The clearing kick going forward here for the Jets. Might come back with a bit of interest. There's Chappell, one of the rare times today he hasn't had to be in a ruck contest. Gets the 1-2 there, working with a teammate. Might have been Wiggins, hugging the boundary line. Ball stays in, bounces favourably for Sheriff, but he loses it. Umpire says play on though. That kick is smothered off the boot of Raw. Beautiful smother.
Get around
the sound of the leather, fantastic as well. Was that Hunt who did the smother there?
Rudy Hunt, 100%.
Fantastic work. Great one for centre.
Some scores from Wayne Brasher. 10 minutes into the final term, Gleb Waverley have kicked the last two. They're only 10 points behind top of the table, Whitehorse in Division 4.
With the time on now here in the final term, it's probably going to be a mere...
Glen Waverley beating Whitehorse.
They're not far behind. They're on their way.
Okay.
Would possibly be a boil over there as the ball here on centre wing on the member side. Paid wrapped up and we'll get a ball up. Time certainly the enemy for Heathmont, but you would think that a 37-point deficit won't be reeled in as we are in time on here. They go forward though in the vicinity of Clark, who's been superb with 3 goals today, but it's almost been a lone hand for him as we get a stoppage courtesy of a throw in. Damo.
Rams have just booted 2 quick goals. They're only 4 points behind Baronia. Could get their first win for the season.
Donny East by 39 points this afternoon against Croydon. Just thought I'd throw that little nugget in.
Indeed, you needed to, BWS, but why not? As we get another stoppage here and another boundary throw in. Benny Gavin scoreboard reads Park Orchards 12-13, 85. Heathmont 8th straight, 48. 21 gone, final term. Over the top there, it might have been Cornwall involved in the ruck on that occasion. Umpire's got his whistle. So that's against Chapel.
Free kick to Chapel.
It will be as well.
Oh no, it was off the ball. No, it is to Chapel.
No, it is to Chapel. Might have been, could have been that that new ruck rule with the elimination of the 3rd man up, the wrong bloke for Heathmont went up. Could have been that, but anyway.
I don't think we're following that rule, Louise. The ball's in the middle. Comes out now for Heathmont. A scrambling kick. They're letting themselves down. And will they make them pay there? The Sharks charging through. There was Phil, got dispossessed of the football. The Sheriff came in. He got dispossessed, then laid a strong tackle. A lot of players around the pill, picked up there by Prozenak. Handball into the middle of the ground. This might work favourably out there for Phil. He overran it. Naina came charging in for the Jets on the right boot, up towards the half-forward line. Bouncing football, scooped upon there by Brown. It was a terrible kick inside forward 50. He was looking there for Knowles. It's mistakes aplenty at the moment as Kev Clark comes in and sits on the ball, and we'll hand it back to the umpire for a ball up about centre half forward, almost 50 metres out from the Heathmont goal line. Nicely done there by Chapel, knocked it straight down, but to no avail of a running teammate. And Knowles, well, got pink for holding the football then. Well, can't see, don't agree with that.
East Burwood in front,
opinion.
boys.
Yeah. Well,
16 minutes gone, final term. East Burwood lead by 2 points over Baronia.
Absolutely one of the greatest upsets for the season by an absolute mile as it comes out now. Prozenak got the kick away. I don't think I could have ever written a side off more than what I did on the huddle last night in East Burwood, and they're going to probably win today as a ball in the middle of the crowd for Park Orchards up towards centre half forward. The Jets do have the numbers as the ball floats through the back there. Half back now for the Heathmont Football Club up towards the wing position. A one-on-one contest in shoes. Cornwell was in there. It was a good second effort by him. It was a great effort there by Benny Hyde as well, and the umpire is just happy just to call that one all square. Damien Watson, some more scores around the grounds.
Yeah, Glen Waverley have booted the last 3. They're only 3 points behind Whitehorse, 15 minutes into the final term.
Holy dolly, Wayne Brasher. We thought his blood pressure was already at sky high. It's going to be another issue this afternoon. Be enjoying that one. He's the main man, Brasher, around the grounds. Looking forward to having his report on AFL Sunday tomorrow. We won't talk to him after the game. He'll probably need to calm down for probably 12 hours after that game. The umpire to bounce it once again. This game's done and dusted. Park Orchards. They've done the job today. They've played fantastically. What can Heathmont do? They're not gonna give up, and good sides don't. There's no doubt about that. And the free kick has been paid on true centre wing position. Jack Cornwell just opens things up a little bit now. That's a good kick up towards centre half forward. The flying player there, and Davis couldn't quite take the mark. Through the hands of him it goes. It came out towards Young. He couldn't quite trap it either. Going back after it there, a little bit of holding there on Davis. Advantage will be paid. Here's John Okanutsa. Can he put it through? He can't. He pushed it to the right-hand side. He kicked a corker in the first term, and he's kicked a shanker in the last.
He'll be dropped. He'll get dropped for that.
I'll bet you go back to scoreboard 12-13, 85. the Park Orchards Football Club. Heathmont 8-1-49. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast at 98.1 Radio Eastern, streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. Barry Cott and the Score Centre is going to keep you up to date with all these around the ground scores. We've got Damien Watson working feverishly on Twitter to also keep us up to date as these final scores tick through. It's been a great dad here at H.E. Parker. Hangar, they always put on a good spread, which is always important. As it comes out, and I'm talking food-wise, the umpire is going to restart this play right in front of the cricket net. It's about 70 metres out from the Heathmont goal line.
The Burgers better at H.E. Parker Reserve. Well, they've certainly lived up to their billing today. BWS, as we wind down our EFL game day match of the round in the top of the table clash in Division 3. Park Orchards just waiting for that final siren now as the ball goes over the boundary line, seen over carefully by Nick Handley, who stepped up when it's mattered most here in the final term, just when the Jets had a little fleeting snippet of hope with the opening couple of goals to Kevin Clark in the first 12 minutes of this term. From the ruck contest, not picked up by Knowles for Heathmont. At the back there is Naina, brought down, and we'll get it started once again. Just shy of the cricket nets there on the far centre wing position. Naina out bodying Chappell on that occasion. They get the clearance here. Heathmont, it's a hurried kick forward, a blind one, but it favours Young. His kick there, Sheriff's running towards there, likewise Douglas, but he's cut off superbly by his opponent there in Ben Haid, and boundary line also getting involved there, so we'll get another throw in. 26.5 gone, final quarter. Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Park Orchards 12-13-85. Heathmont 8-1-49. Damien Watson, further score updates.
Yes, Blackburn are home in the dying stages. They lead East Ringwood by 35 points, as expected, I would have thought.
And Gus will be happy about that one. Yes. Great to have Will Taylor on board today on social media doing a brilliant job. Yes. He'll be part of the score centre between 5 and 6 this afternoon as the ball's across the half-forward line. Now, coming out there, Sheriff on the right boot for Heathmont, inside forward 50, the kick goes. Nice use of the body there by Sparrow. He runs into the open goal and he puts it through. Too little, too late though for the Jets. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 27 minutes into this final term, you know the siren is going to sound momentarily. They are 9-1-55, trailing by 5 goals, 12-13-85 Park Orchards. Any more final scores coming through, Damo, on @FootyEFL via Twitter? If you're out at the grounds, make sure you let us know. Get the scores into us.
Yes, indeed. We've just reached time on, according to Wade Brasher at the final term. Whitehorse still clinging to that 3-point lead against the Glen Waverley Hawks.
Borderline getting Brash on to call that final few minutes there.
Get it?
Talked about his blood pressure. I don't think I could do it.
Burst a fuse, wouldn't he?
Comes out now. Smart work there by Smead for Park Orchards. They've answered all goals right throughout the afternoon today. A breeze gets the handball away. I still haven't got it right, but it kicks it into the middle of the ground where Naina takes the mark as the siren sounds. Fantastic win today by the Park Orchards Football Club. They sat on top of the table before today's clash with a superior percentage, and they will now remain there again.